Okay, welcome back everybody. In this video tutorial, we're going to be taking a look at the virtual construction of the Automata box. And just to get things started, we should probably be taking a look at getting our files set up and talk a little bit about file naming. So in this case, we're taking a look at problem 8.2, Automata Design Challenge. This is right there within the IED curriculum. And I'm just going to show you a quick way I can kind of get things going with my kids. And it really sticks to good file naming and good organization, good file management. So, all right, so we know in our box kit we had multiple parts of the MDF sides and top, bottom, back. We had a square dowel rod, and then we had that round dowel rod. The set of working drawings I was giving you before, I should have told you this does not come within the curriculum. This is just a simple set of working drawings that I am showing you of actually what comes with that box kit, the dimensions that you're going to be finding. So, all right, so let's just go ahead and let's get things started. As far as Inventor goes, here is how I show my kids, and this seemed to be just sort of a rock steady way of doing it. So the first thing is we have to go out there and create a folder. So I'm just out there in a drive on my computer. I'm going out to new and I'm creating that folder. What I tell my students to do is just go out there and give me your first and last initial, and then I do an underscore and I say, okay, give me the actual project or problem that we're working on. So in this case, this is going to be problem 8.2 underscore, and the name of this is the Automata Design Challenge. So I do start using some abbreviations. So I'm going to type in ADC, and I'm just going to go ahead and leave it at that. So from a teacher standpoint, this is telling me whose it is, or we have a pretty good idea whose it is, the problem number, as well as the project or the problem that they're working on. All right, so with that being done, okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to jump over here and take a look at these. All right, and then what my students do is normally they're pulling out the dial calipers and they're getting measurements with the dial calipers, just good reinforcement of skills with the dial calipers. But in this case, we're kind of moving along quickly, so we're trying to move along quickly. So we're going to go ahead and just grab a ruler. All right, I know I got some. We are seeing that this is kind of shining up here, but anyway, we can go out there and get some quick measurements. So I can see that this is 5, okay, and this is 4 inches, okay, and if I put this on the side, we can see that that is about a quarter of an inch. All right, so if I take a look, okay, at the set of working drawings that I provided to you on our website, you're going to be seeing that this is 5 by 4, okay, by quarter of an inch. So this is going to be top. All right, now what I do have my students do, okay, is because all these parts are going to start looking the same, as I go out there and actually just, okay, write a T for top. All right, so I know that I also have the same dimensions for another part, okay, and if I take a look at my box kit and my working drawing, I can see that the same exact duplicate part is actually for, okay, our bottom. All right, so what this means for us here is I'm going to have my kids go out there and identify, okay, that is our bottom. Okay, so I go ahead and mark that with a pencil. Okay, my next one I'm going to go ahead and pull out. Okay, this is all the same thickness as far as the MDF goes. I can see that this is 4, okay, by 4.5. All right, so taking a look out here at our set of working drawings, we're talking a 4 by 4.5, okay, quarter of an inch thickness. Okay, I can see that that is my back. All right, so what I have my students do is go ahead, grab a pencil, go out there and mark that as back. Okay, just like so. And then finally, it leaves us 2 parts, okay, that are going to be duplicates, okay. And when I go out here and measure these, I will see that this, okay, is pretty darn close to 4 inches, okay, by 4 inches. Okay, pretty darn close. And once again, we're talking about a thickness of a quarter of an inch. All right, all MDF in this case, same thickness, quarter of an inch. Okay, and obviously you guessed it. Okay, that is going to be our side part. All right, so once again, all right, I have my students pull out that pencil and go ahead and mark that, okay, with an S. Okay, to indicate that is our side. So we've gone out there and just gotten our parts marked. Okay, and now we're ready to jump over into Inventor and get things happening. So once I pull up Inventor, first thing I'm going to do is come out here and go to New. Okay, I need to make sure I'm talking about the correct unit, so I am selecting my English template folder, and within my English template folder I'm going to be seeing my standard inch.ipt. So we need to go out there and create our parts. So I have selected my standard inch IPT. I'm going to say create. All right, and once we're in that IPT environment, I'm going to come up here. I'm not going to draw anything. Instead, what I'm going to do is come up here to my orange file tab. Go to Save As. Okay, I need to now make sure I am peeking in the right folder, okay, to look for that folder that I created earlier, which was my first last initial underscore problem 8.2 ADC, standing for Automata Design Challenge. I'm going to double click on that folder to go into it, and now I'm going to come out here and start making my parts. So first and last initial underscore problem 8.2 underscore ADC underscore, and we know that we have a top part. Okay, so just like that, I can see it is saving it as an IPT. I'm going to go ahead and do a save. We can tell that this has saved it correctly with the right file name because we can actually see the IPT name up here, okay, at the very top of the ribbon. Okay, I'm not going to create anything at this time. Instead, what I'm going to do is go out there and just create all of my parts right up front without drawing anything, and I'm just going to be making sure that they're saved with the right names. Okay, so I have my top done. I'm going to come up here to the orange file tab, do a save as, okay, and then this time what I'm going to do is it's going to actually kind of remember what my last part was, which is very convenient for us. Okay, and instead of naming this top again, okay, we're going to come out here and say this is going to be my bottom IPT. I'm going to go ahead and do a save. Okay, and I'm going to come up here, orange file tab, do a save as. And this time I'm going to be piggybacking off the last one, and this one is going to be the side. So I'm going to go ahead and do a save. And finally, to kind of round all this out, I'm going to do an orange file tab, do a save, and come down here. And the last thing that we need to do is the back IPT. All right, so when we do that, if we come out here and take a look, okay, within that drive, which I have saved all this, okay, what we're going to be seeing is we have 4 IPTs, okay, named, saved, and ready to go. All right, now some of you might be asking, well, bottom and top are total duplicates. Why did we do 2 IPTs? Well, eventually within the automata, we're going to be drilling holes in the top and not within the bottom, so we do want 2 separate IPTs. If they were the same IPT, as soon as we drill the holes, we're going to see those holes for our follow rods going through the top as well as for the bottom, and we don't want holes in both. All right, so that's why we only we separated those. All right, so we know we're going to have to assemble this box, eventually. So I'm jumping back into Inventor. I'm going to close out of my IPT environment, and this time I'm going to go out to New. Okay, I'm going to go out there and select Standard Inch IEM. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and say Create. Once I get into this environment, okay, I'm not going to be assembling or creating anything because there's nothing I can actually assemble. There's no parts made. All I'm doing is just going out there and getting our file naming taken care of. Orange File tab. Okay, go out here, do a Save As. I'm peeking into the correct folder. Okay, I know I'm in the right place, so that's good. And I'm going to go ahead and just type in my first, last initial. Okay, and when I do that, it's going to be giving me suggestions of what's currently out there. Okay, what I tell my students to do is go ahead and just pick one of those suggestions. Okay, come in here on the back side of it, and I'm actually going to get rid of the part name and take it all the way back to ADC, which is Automata Design Challenge. All right, now I can go ahead and do a save. So my assembly file is ready to go. It is named and saved, so I can go ahead and close out of that. I'm only going to need one assembly. All right, something else I know I'm going to need to do is the IPN, the presentation file, because I'm going to use that for an exploded assembly view later within my IDW. So I'm going to come up here, go to New. I'm going to come all the way down here to the bottom and look for my IPN. Here's my standard inch IPN. I'm going to go ahead and pick on that, say Create. We're now into our IPN environment, and when it says, hey, I want to insert something, I just tell my students go ahead and hit Escape. And now I can come up here, go to the orange file tab, do a Save As. Go ahead, type in my first, last initial. It's going to give me suggestions. Okay, right there at the top is my IEM. I'm going to go in and clean out the back part of that for the file extension. And I know this is going to be my IPN for problem 8.2 Automata Design Challenge. Now I'm going to go ahead and do a save. And now my IPN has been properly saved, okay, with the correct naming. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close that on that. All right, hopefully all of you have figured out how to create custom title blocks, okay, and hopefully you figured out how to create that custom title block as a template to use, okay, right there within the new file dialog box. All right, so in my case, okay, I have done that, so I'm going to go out here and go to New, okay, and you're going to see I have actually gone out there and I have established some different IDWs within my class, but here's the one for my home school, which is Lockport Township High School, and here's the PLTW IED title block that we are using. I'm going to go ahead and do a create. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put in my first and last name, okay, and the project title, which in this case is Problem 8.2-Design Automata Design Challenge. This is a prompted entry, something built right into our title block. Okay, and I can see I am ready to go. All right, so we have a starting place for our project. So I'm going to go ahead, Orange File tab once again, do a Save As. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and type in my first, last initial. Okay, once again, I'm in that old folder. Okay, where everything else is. And when I'm typing in my first, last initial, it's going to be giving me suggestions, so I can piggyback off the last file, which in my case here is the IEM, clean out that file extension, okay, and go ahead and do a save. My IDW is ready to go, so now I can go ahead and close out of that. Okay, and just to take a peek of what we just did there in a very short amount of time is, I have all the files ready to go. They are properly named, and they are saved and ready to be basically opened up and done something with, okay, for our project, for our problem. All right, so in this case, I'm going to go ahead, all right, and I'm going to go ahead and just get started with the first part, okay, within this set of working drawings, which in this case is the top. Okay, I can see the dimensions on this are 5 by 4, okay, by 1/4 of an inch. And once again, if your students don't have that set of working drawings, they can always come back here, okay, grab that part, okay, which we know that's my top because I looked at that earlier. All right, that's marked. All right, and they can go out there, use the ruler, use a set of dial calipers, get the measurements that they need. Okay, so as far as Inventor goes, here's how simple it is. All right, so we just got to remember some dimensions here, 5 by 4 by 1/4. All right, we can do that. All right, so I'm going to go out here and open up, okay, my top IPT. I'm going to go out there to the folder, okay, where this is at. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. I don't have to do this at all. I know that my last place here. Here we go. Let's just do it this way. Let's just go ahead and open up that top IPT. When we open it, obviously there's nothing there because we didn't draw or model anything earlier. Okay, so here's how simple it is. We can come up here, okay, start a 2D sketch, okay. The way I've been teaching this forever, all right, is it does not matter which plane you pick on. Just pick on a plane. Let's do our sketch. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pan this down to the bottom left-hand corner, okay, and now I can get started on my top IPT. Simple as it is, come up here, grab a rectangle, okay, always, always, always start it from this magical place here called the origin. If you don't, it is not going to be fully constrained unless you add dimensions later to constrain it to the origin. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that rectangle, okay. I'm going to go ahead and take a look, okay, at those dimensions, which were 5 by 4 by 1/4. All right, and now I'm going to jump back in here to Inventor, and I'm going to dimension these. So I add my first dimension, okay, I'm going to say that is 5 inches. Okay, second dimension over here, which is 4 inches. Okay, and now I'm going to come down here, make sure that we have fully constrained that sketch by adding all the dimensions that we do, and we can see that it is. And now all I have to do is come up here, finish that sketch. I'm going to go ahead and do a zoom extents and do an extrude and indicate that this is 1/4 of an inch. Okay, I can go ahead and say OK. All right, now the problem that we have is default setting for materials library is it's always going to be set to generic. All right, and we know from earlier, after we investigated the actual kit itself, is that this is actually made out of medium density fiberboard. It even kind of looks like it here, okay, within the set of working drawings. Okay, but if we take a look at this, okay, we can see, okay, that is MDF. All right, and that's what it's looking like. So we're going to tell it to look like that Inventor. Okay, and in order to do that, all we have to do is come up here, hit where it says generic. This is your material library, and we're going to be coming down and we're going to be searching for, okay, medium density fiberboard. All right, now if it does not show up, okay, within this list, do not give up hope. Okay, currently we can take a look at this and we can see that we are in the Inventor material library. Now what's nice is that Autodesk gave us a second option, and that is the Autodesk material library. So don't forget, you still have another material library, okay, that you can pull out, pull materials from. So we're going to switch this over to Autodesk material library. Okay, and I can see down here that is checked. Okay, now I can do an M to get me to my M materials, and we can see that MDF, medium density fiberboard, is one of those options. I pick it, and look at that. That looks really darn close to what we just saw there a second ago. Okay, and we're going to flip this back over, okay, to what we saw. Even the little specs and everything. Pretty cool, right? All right, so that's a medium density fiberboard that comes with Inventor. All right, now a lot of people think that you go out there and you just slap some material on it, it just looks like it. Do not forget, all right, Inventor is very smart. This is engineering software, and it can answer a lot of questions to us. When we come up here, all right, and we throw MDF on it, okay, it's not just a visual style, okay, I mean, yeah, we can see it looks like it, but do not forget, if you come over here to the orange file tab and come down here to this Game Boy looking icon called iProperties, we pick on iProperties. Okay, come out here and take a look within the physical tab. Okay, we can see that our material is MDF fiberboard. All right, and we come down here and take a look, and people are saying, well, this does nothing for us. Well, don't forget, in order for this to work, you have to pick on Update. When we hit Update, we can now see some very valuable information. All right, and one of those things is we can actually see how much this would truly weigh, okay, if it was here on the planet Earth, which is 0.145 pounds. So if this was made of MDF, this would be, almost 0.15 pounds. We can see what our surface area is, okay, for that part, and we can also see what the volume is. The other cool thing is right here to the right of it, we can see our center of gravity as well. We can see the actual centroid, the center of gravity, that point. If we were to throw it in the air, what would it be rotating along? Well, I'm saying it's right there, 2.5 on my X, 2 on my Y, and about 1/8 of an inch on my Z. Okay, pretty cool stuff. All right, so in this case, we have our top part basically done. It is ready to go, and all we have to do is, since we've already directed it and told it where to save, and we've already saved it with the correct naming, all we have to do is come up here and hit our Save button. So our top IPT is done. All right, so we're going to continue this process. Okay, I'm going to go out there and open up my bottom IPT. I'm just going to do it through here. Here we go. I'm going to go my bottom IPT, open that up. Go to Start a 2D Sketch, pick on any plane. It does not matter. Come on out here, and I'm going to start my rectangle from the origin. Super important. Okay, I'm going to take a look at my set of working drawings. Okay, I'm in my bottom IPT, and look at that. It's the same as the top, 5 by 4 by 1/4. Okay, and I am talking to my bottom IPT, so I'm going to go out here and dimension this. There's my 5 inches for my dimension. Okay, and here's my 4 inches for my dimension. I can now finish that sketch, do a zoom extents and extrude, and I'm going to go ahead and pull that out to 0.25. All right, so there's my bottom IPT. Now I come up here, go to my materials list. I'm still within the Autodesk material library. Remember that from last time. So I'm going to type in an M. It's going to take me to the M's. I'm going to find my medium density fiberboard. Okay, send that into a home view and go ahead and do a save. So that quickly we've done our top and our bottom IPT, and it is now officially saved. Okay, now I can go out there and open up my next part. Okay, so in this case, it is going to be my side IPT. So I'm going to double click on that. Okay, I'm going to bring that open, go to Start a 2D Sketch, pick on any plane, go up to my rectangle command, come here to start from the origin. Okay, I'm going to take a quick little glance at my set of working drawings, go to my side IPT. Here it is. It's 4 by 4 by 1/4. All right, and we found that earlier with the ruler or the dial calipers. No problem. Okay, go to my dimensions, pick that line, and say, hey, I want you to be 4. And come over here, grab this line. Hey, I want you to be 4. And let's go ahead and finish that sketch. Zoom extents, and let's go out there and extrude that to 1/4 of an inch. And there you go. Don't forget, slap some MDF on that guy. Punch the M key, takes me down to the M's, and I get my medium density fiberboard. That's in our home view, and let's go ahead and do a save. And finally, our last part that was out here was our back part, right? So I can double click on back. I can go out here, Start a 2D Sketch, pick on that work plane, get to my origin to start my rectangle. Okay, take a look at that set of working drawings, or think back to what was we measured. And now we're on our back IPT. We can take a look. It's 4.5 by 4 by 1/4. Easy enough. Jump back into Inventor, come up here and dimension this line on top. Indicate that, hey, we want that to be 4.5. Okay, and we want this line here to be 4. We're going to go ahead and finish our sketch, do a zoom extents, okay, and go ahead and extrude that to be 0.25. Once I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. Up here to my material library, hit an M key, get me down to the M's, okay, medium density fiberboard, okay, and my back IPT is set and ready to go, which is 4.5 by 4 by 1/4. All right, and now I can go ahead and hit the save button. All right, so just that quick, we did some file naming. Okay, we went out there and we established all of our files that we're going to need, and then we were just opening up those files, okay, and we constructed them, added our material to them, and yeah, we're sitting on 5 IPTs. Actually, in this case, I'm sorry, it's 4 IPTs, which one is a duplicate, which will give us 5, and we are ready to assemble, okay, that big, beautiful box.